Oh, Jeff.
Brent.
The stuff people put out there.
It's amazing.
We can't talk about it.
All I'm going to say, there's a meme out there that I say once a week really rings true for me. It's the one of the guy like putting on a yellow like clean suit and about to head into the comments section.
Oh my gosh.
But you know what? Yeah. Like, yes, there's some stuff in there that's just like, but also I'm going to say easily 85% of the comments are awesome from super cool people.
Absolutely.
Saying super cool things. Even, what was it? That one episode in the second season with the hyperspace.
Oh, thing. The one where like they get trapped in the hyperspace thing. And I'm like, how do you get trapped in hyperspace? Like, yeah, sure.
We got 80 comments on YouTube. We probably got 400 tweets, and we literally got like 30 emails describing to us how hyperspace works. You know what? It drove me wild. I couldn't deal with it, but I loved every single one of them because like it was cool.
People engaging,
it was so well intentioned. Yeah, people care. Yeah. So I'm going to focus on these 85% that are just the coolest people.
You guys ever. Rock. You guys rock. We love you guys. Listen, I know Jeff and I probably over the last, maybe this season, really, Jeff, like since season 3 hit, we might not have been as communicative in the comments as we once were. Mostly that's because you guys have so stinking many of them out there.
I know. Well, I'm going to be really honest about it. And we've talked about this many times, right? About kind of what our schedule looks like, how much time we have available. You're teaching, and that's coming up again here pretty,
Yeah, we start this week. Yeah, we start this week.
Yeah, we don't start for like 3 more weeks. We don't start. Whew. But like you got that, I got a full-time job. We both have our families. Like there's all this stuff.
Football season's ramping up. I mean, and NFL for sure. But I mean, my kid plays ball too. Like, he's going to middle school ball this year.
I've straight up missed some episodes that I haven't even gotten into for that. We tried to, but the other thing we have that we've talked about a little bit here, but we have a thriving community on our Discord, on Patreon, and like there's some cool conversations, and so we're in there doing that too. So just if you're wondering where we've been, we're creating this for you.
There's the Brent Watches comments. There's this show, the main show comments. There's the Brent Watches fully unedited video comments. There's the Jeff Watches fully unedited video comments when you deem us worthy enough to do one. And then there's all the stuff in Discord. Like that's a lot of conversations happening out there. Yeah. Anyway, I feel like I'm like, sorry, we haven't responded. I guess that's really all of that to say is if we haven't responded, that's all it is. You guys are awesome. And my God, some of you guys are just hilarious out there. The stuff y'all come up with is great. What we are here to do today, Joe, I am so excited about this episode. Yeah. Can we just say this to dispel all doubt? We like this episode.
No, I don't like it. Brent, I love this episode. I stood up, arms raised at the end. Yes. Yes. Oh, this is so good.
This is true. I saw video. His daughter took video and sent it to me.
You're not going to see it. But.
I have it. I can send it. Yeah, it's just phenomenal. I like it. It's just good TV, Jeff. And Babylon 5 is doing things that people, the people out there promised everything was happening, and it's happening. This is what is this part in that narrative speed? This is the climax. This is the climax. Yeah, right this is
I think
so. Yeah. So good. So good. Anyway, what you guys out there are getting ready to watch, Jeff and I are recording an audio podcast. You guys are watching the behind the scenes footage of how we bake the cake, of how we grill the hamburgers, of how we griddle the French toast, of how we scramble the eggs. This is how we make the show. You guys are going to get to see all the behind the scenes footage. You're going to see the bloopers, the outtakes. You're going to see where Jeff and I plot our evil plottings for how to bring down the show. Oh my God.
That's a real thing that got talked about, by the way. Yeah.
You guys are going to get to see it all. And please do comment down below. Jeff and I promise we will try to get there. And if you're new to the show, please subscribe, leave us a rating and review, all that sort of stuff. Jeff, let's get into this. This is War Without End Part 2. Let's go.
First time.
Jeff, stop. I would like to save everybody a comment out there. Jeff and I don't need any comments. Please don't waste your keyboard energy about why we should have done this in concert with last week's episode and done them together as one. Even if we should have, the fact is we've done them as separate episodes, and I just want to save you that energy because we went through this back with Voice in the Wilderness back in season 1. I don't need it. Just please don't. Jeff, is that fair? Am I being too harsh?
Also, this isn't Voice in the Wilderness. This was 2 separate and distinct episodes that served different purposes and are full in and of themselves.
Yes.
If we did both of these together, we would have been here for 4 hours.
Yes, exactly.
We're going to do them separately. We're going to be here for a total over 2 weeks of a little over 2.
Yeah.
So chill out.
Let's go.
Es bueno.
First time.
You're new here, Horace.
Someday, somewhere, I'll make a difference.
It's a mockery.
I mean, we're not some deep space franchise. This station is about something.
The year is 2023. The name of the podcast, Babylon 5, for the first time.
Welcome to Babylon 5 for the first time, not a Star Trek podcast. My name is Jeff Akin, and I'm watching Babylon 5 for the first time, and I have a special message. Happy birthday to you. Brent, it's your birthday this week.
Oh, I was like, whose birthday are you singing
Yours.
to? It is. Yeah, my birthday's
Isn't
later on
it?
this week.
Okay.
That's for sure. As this is going out, this is typically an evergreen show, but as we record this, you're right, my birthday is later on this week. Thank you so much for remembering, Jeff.
You're very
This will
welcome.
be, Jeff, this is my second birthday in the life of this podcast. Wow. Yours is coming up in a couple weeks after.
Yep.
So we've each had 2 birthdays relatively soon from now. Wow. Over the course of this show.
And last week you were calling our listeners old, and here we are. 2 birthdays in this.
Right? Right? Thank you so much for that, Jeff.
You're welcome.
And I'm Brent Allen, and I'm also watching Babylon 5 for the first time as I'm getting older week after week. Jeff and I are 2 veteran Star Trek podcasters watching Babylon 5 for the first time, and in it, we're taking that analytical lens that we have gained as Star Trek podcasters, we're applying it right here to Babylon 5, looking for those messages, those morals, the hope of the future, and we're also trying to decide just how much we like this series.
And this is not a Star Trek podcast. This is a Babylon 5 podcast. In fact,
Literally
it's about 2 guys.
in the name.
It's the name. Yeah.
Literally the name. Yeah.
2 people watching it for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
But as veteran Star Trek podcasters, it's very likely those references to Star Trek are going to pop up. So we play the rule of 3, meaning that each one of us get exactly up to 3 references to Star Trek.
That's it. 3. Uno, dos, tres. No substitutions, exchanges, or refund.
Jeff, you know what that does
Brent.
mean?
What does that mean?
It means that, though, we get unlimited references to everything else out there.
And we use those
Yes, we do.
judiciously.
Like we reference as much pop culture, sci-fi or otherwise. It's just this one particular one we've got to rein it in because it's just kind of let's say nature.
There's stuff.
I will
There's
say
stuff.
this though, Jeff. In my other podcasts, Babylon 5 references are replete at this point.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely.
That makes sense. Well, hey, Brent.
Hey, Jeff.
Instead of sharing a 5-star review right now in this moment, I want to tell everyone watching and everyone listening that counting this episode, we only have 4 episodes left in the 3rd season of Babylon 5.
Wow.
You know what's coming in a month?
That means it's
Season 3 wrap up. It's coming, and it's coming sooner than you can imagine. Back in season 1, again in season 2, and yes, here in season 3, we're doing a giveaway.
Woohoo.
This time, we've got Starfuries. Da-dun-da-dun, ba-dum-ba-dun, ba-dum-ba-dun, ba-da-ba-da-dun-da-dun-dun. Let's show them what they could win, Brent. We've got Starfuries made by the one, the only, Wash. And if you leave a rating or a review anywhere out there, and you take a screenshot of that, you send it to us at babylon5first@gmail.com, or tag us on Twitter at babylonfirst, you'll be entered to win one of 2 Starfuries. That's right. We're going to have more than one winner for this season.
Jeff, I was going to throw this up there and show people this Starfury, but I just wanted to see how long you were going to go with that song. Yeah, here it is. So our buddy Wash, who made us the Babylon 5 station, which he made me a second copy of, which is right here behind me. That was the giveaway we had for the first season. He actually made these for us back during season 2, but we had already done, or we had decided to do a different giveaway just to kind of switch it up. So we're coming back to this from Wash. He was so generous. He's made these super awesome Starfuries. And I mean, you got the ejection pod that can pop out. There's the blaster thingies and all. I mean, it's just dope. And we've got a couple of these we're going to be giving away. And I am once again jealous that I don't have some to keep of my own. These are awesome.
It's going to be awesome. We look forward to giving those away. That'll be in our season 3 wrap up, which is coming I have 4 episodes of the show and then the wrap up. So that's
well, we got
right
this one and then we got
corner.
4 more, and then it's
this
the
one,
wrap
then
up.
3 more.
Really?
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm going to double check that because I'm that guy. This is for you, YouTube. Making all these big, heavy claims. And they're like, what are you talking about, Jeff? You should take notes, Brent, because I'm literally going to give some episode names here. So we've got Gray 17 is missing.
Mm-hmm.
And the Rock cried out, no hiding place.
Mm-hmm.
Shadow dancing, and Zaha Doom. So we have 4 more after this one.
Yes.
So let me come back. So we have this episode, 4 more. So in 6 weeks from now, 6 weeks, sorry about all that other 5-week stuff. 6 weeks from now, you'll have a shot at getting one of those Starfuries.
Yeah.
So get your ratings, get your reviews in, and send them to us as soon as possible. And then when you send those in over time, over a long time, because we get a lot of these, you'll get to hear this. Hey, Brent.
Hey, Jeff.
We have a 5-star review.
Oh, yes.
This one's from Apple Podcasts, and Mr. Niter says,
What's up, Mr. Knight?
how does this podcast end? In fire. Spectacularly hot and explodey fun fire. The one thing I couldn't do after watching the whole of Babylon 5 was watch it again with the same awe and wonder, and yeah, groan at the really bad episodes that I did the first time round. I was there at the beginning, but could never recreate that feeling. But this podcast makes the show exciting for me again. I know what's coming. I know it's going to happen, but I love the fact that you guys don't. And go down all the rabbit holes that I went down, dream up all the theories like I did about what's going to happen or not happen, and I can shout and laugh at where you end up or don't. It's been a long time since I followed a show where I can't wait for the next episode, which is happening each and every time I listen to yours. You just have to be weekly, don't you? It's not enough. I listen on a Monday and I think, oh man, another 7 days? Mostly I'm listening to you as I drive through the hills and glens of Scotland for work. I kid you not. Yeah. Nothing like having to stop in a quiet, idyllic spot with your voices blasting out of the windows into the mountain air. Brent, I want that poster.
You know what's awesome is people that follow the show for a while have been around. My home state is the state of Kentucky. And I have worked really hard over the years to not have the Kentucky accent, y'all. But it does come out every once in a while. And what I have learned, Jeff, is that with the Kentucky accent is actually a derivative of the Scottish accent and has been bastardized through all them centuries.
Wow.
Yeah, I know, right?
It's like a capital B bastardized.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so the idea that my voice is ringing out through the hills of Scotland is quite amusing to me.
They close by saying, I don't think I've laughed so much since way back in season 2, you tried to work out what Gropos, the next episode, was about just from its title. Keep up the excellent work.
The people that actually expected us to know what Gropos was before that episode, they're like, well, they mentioned it.
Furious.
Like, I was like,
they said this one time in one line in one episode for 4/10 of a second. How do you not know this?
How did you not catch it? Like, okay. Actually, although to be fair, I do remember that episode because I'm watching the reaction video. I'm doing the reaction video. I'm filming it. Okay. And they come across and they say something about I still remember it's ground pounders. They say something about ground pounders. And I look in the camera and I go, is that what Gropos is? It's ground pounders. And I said to the camera, I was like, I'm never going to remember that. And then when I got into recording this episode, now that was separated by several days. I looked at you and I was like, I didn't even realize what this meant till I started writing the recap. I was like, I just completely forgot. You know what? I had a lot going on.
Seriously. It's a lot to keep track of.
That was probably my biggest goof of the whole thing. The fact I called it out on myself, that would just make me laugh.
It just shows a next level self-awareness.
It really is. Yes.
It's enviable.
No, it's not. Oh, well, Jeff, with all the stuff that we like to do here on this show, one of the things we really like to do is we like to make predictions. And one of those predictions we like to make is what the next episode is going to be about without ever actually having seen the episode. Much like trying to figure out what is Gropos about, go. That's all you got is the title. We haven't seen thumbnails. We don't read descriptions. We certainly haven't watched ahead. Trying to figure out what it is just based on knowledge and, can you put some pieces together? That usually occurs at the end of the show. Well, this part of the show is where we look back on last week and look at our predictions from then to see what we thought this week was going to be about. Jeff, this one is a little bit of a gimme, but let's go through the exercise anyway. What did you say part 2 of War Without End was going to be, and how close were you?
So I was way off on one point because I thought we were going to get a lot of like shadow fighting and stuff like that going. Like we were going to see the battle that happened. That didn't happen even a tiny little bit.
Right.
But I had an unpopular opinion that is yet to be proven. But my unpopular opinion was at the end, it'll pretty much be business as usual, just with like a little more context going on. And frankly, that's kind of what happened.
You think so?
I do. They're just like, oh, this guy isn't here anymore.
Yep. They delivered.
We're just going back to work.
Now we're going back to work, going back to the station.
Back to the office. Yeah. What about you? What did you think it was going to be?
But it was not, because I remember you also said something about a reset button. It wasn't a reset button. Like we didn't undo everything that happened, right?
There's like real things.
Yeah.
Like big freaking deal things that happened.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So for mine, I basically just said more of the episode is just going to happen, which is what happened. But I do want to come here and just say that I was wrong, because my prediction was based on a theory that I had that the war from the first ones and then the war from 1,000 years ago and the war that's happening now are all happening simultaneously. And it's going to require them all sort of working together in various times to truly defeat the shadows. And that this set of episodes was going to launch the overall war. And getting to the end of this, I realized that's not what this set of episodes was. This set of episodes is basically Babylon Squared Part 2, right? Kind of Back to the Future Part 2, where ultimately we go back and reinsert ourselves into that episode, which, my gosh, it's brilliant. It's brilliant. Actually, the way they did it is just absolutely brilliant. And go back and redefine a little bit of history for us. And I'm assuming this wraps up Michael O'Hare and the Jeffrey Sinclair storyline. Like, this was bringing him back
Well, Sinclair doesn't exist anymore. So I think, yes, you are. I completely agree.
Right. But I mean, this is so Michael O'Hare left the show for the reasons he left the show. And this was like, hey, let's bring him back. Let's finish that storyline, but let's also really give Michael O'Hare an amazing send off rather than just, oh, he's not here one day. You know what I mean? Like, I very much appreciated that. But I don't think that this is, I don't know that my theory about this being like all one big war is actually going to pan out. I'm not high on that one anymore after this episode. But I love this episode.
Well, if you're all curious why we don't think that's going to pan out for Brent's theory, or if you wonder why we're talking about Sinclair this late in the third season, because you haven't watched this in a long time or things aren't ringing a bell, we are going to take a look back.
Previously on Babylon 5.
As Brent reminds us what this episode was all about.
Yes, well, if you need to know what happened previously on Babylon 5, go back one video in our deal and listen to this recap from last week. Jeff did an amazing job. Now picking up right where we left off, Sheridan is blipping through time. Currently, he's 17 years into the future on Centauri Prime, where Emperor Londo is about to have him executed, just as soon as he takes a nap. Back in a cell, Sheridan is blipping in and out, fading a bit back to Babylon 4, where Zathras sees him for a moment and then gets an idea. But then back in the future in his cell, a confused Sheridan is visited by a very, very passionate Delenn. She's so glad to see him, but she notices some difference. There's an innocence to his eyes that he lost a long time ago. And then there's the thing where he's just telling her, hey, I'm from the past. And since Delenn was also there in the past and she's had all this intervening time, she's like, oh yeah, you told me this was going to happen. She's like, oh, hey, we've been waiting for this to happen. And she tells him that, hey, we've done some great work, but it's come at a great personal sacrifice. We never really find out what that personal sacrifice is, by the way, but we'll speculate on that. But she also drops the big bomb on him. Honey, she's expecting, or she was expecting. They have a son. They have a son, Jeff. Sheridan takes it pretty well. Doesn't even question if he needs to go to Maury to find out if it's his. And it's about that time that the guards come to escort both of them to see a very drunk Emperor Londo. But he's drunk on purpose because Londo has a keeper, a watcher of sorts, which has manifested some weird growth on his neck. Sorry, Jeff. Which has manifested some weird growth on his neck. This keeper can't hold his liquor, so while he sleeps, Londo is finally in full control of his faculties, which apparently he wasn't before when he was being all Mr. Meanie Emperor. Londo really isn't that bad of a guy. And he is looking for redemption. And to get it, he's going to let Sheridan and Delenn go on the promise that they're going to free his people from these keepers. After they leave, old Jakar emerges from the shadows. He and Londo sort of seem to be buddies again. Maybe. And Londo basically tells Jakar to kill him before the keeper wakes up. Otherwise, the keeper is going to know what Londo has done and alert the others. Jakar, more than willing to oblige, puts his hands around Londo's throat to choke the ever-loving life out of him. And as he's doing so, the keeper wakes up, and he turns around to try to take out Jakar by strangling him back. Both are successful, and Londo's vision of the pair of them dying with each other's hands around the other's throat comes to pass. Also, Majel Barrett's vision of Veer becoming the Emperor after Londo dies seems to be set in motion. Well, Sheridan, walking down a corridor, is still blipping, and just before he blips back, Delenn sends him home with some really awkwardly timed life advice. Treasure the time you have. Savor it, for it will never come again. Oh, and whatever you do, don't go to Zahadum. Sheridan blips. We'll catch up with him in just a moment. Now, for the rest of the crew back on Babylon 4, You see, they're trying to get the time stabilizers placed all over the station so that the station, can go safely back through time. Things happen a little too early and they blip, only instead of going back in time, they actually go 4 years into their future, which is actually 2 shows in the past of our show, which is like season 1. And before you know it, we're right smack dab in the middle of the episode Babylon Squared. Only this ain't no holodeck simulation, and Commander Riker is definitely not trying to figure out a crisis of conscience here. Basically, we see the rest of the story from this viewpoint. Sinclair ages super fast as a result of going through the barrier, and if he does it again, he could even age even faster. So that accounts for why he looked really old back in Babylon Squared. Zathras fixes a broken thing, which is that thing he had in Babylon Squared we didn't know. And we now know that that was Sheridan's time stabilizer. He gets caught by station security, which we saw him getting brought in back in Babylon Squared. Zathras meets Sinclair and Garibaldi, and he doesn't spill the beans, just like he was told not to in the last episode by Sinclair, just like he did back in season 1, Babylon Squared. Someone in a blue suit blips in during a moment of confusion, and Zathras slips them the time stabilizer, which is exactly what we saw back in Babylon Squared. And then Zathras, just like we saw in Babylon Squared, gets pinned under a rail during a big evacuation. And then the One comes to save him. Now, we assumed in Babylon Squared that One was old Sinclair, but turns out it's Delenn? What? Hold up. Well, Delenn gets the stabilizer that she got from Zathras, and she gives it to a blipping Sheridan, although that happens off screen, so he's not blipping anymore. Awesome. Sheridan tells the others that he's going to ride Babylon 4 into the past because, well, that's what he's always done. See, look, he sent himself a letter to prove it. Zathras explains that just as Minbari culture is based around the number 3, so Sinclair, Delenn, and Sheridan are all the One. Sinclair is the one who was. Delenn is the one who is. And Sheridan is the one who beat. And Sheridan is the one who will be. And Brett the Hitman Hart is all of them together. A couple of clips flash from season 1 to make all of this make sense about Sinclair, and shows us really just how intelligent JMS was and how he had been planning this from the very beginning. It all happens exactly as history has said it would go. Delenn and Sheridan and the crew head back to the White Star to go home, and Zathras and Sinclair head back 1,000 years into the past. Sinclair using Delenn's chrysalis device to turn himself into the Minbari not born of Minbar. And with the help of some well-placed angel/Vorlons that just come out of nowhere, Minbari Sinclair tells the folks of the past that his name is Valen, and they've got some work to do. Roll credits. Jeff, how did you feel about the wrap-up of The War Without End?
We work really hard to not talk about these episodes, like between our conversations, but I texted you a very explicit text when I got done watching this because, Brent, I was right. I've been calling this all along. I was so right that I have multiple microphones here for this press conference.
Jeff is two-fisting this one, man.
I want to go ahead and I'm happy to take questions, mostly from the back row, people we don't normally get to ask questions here. But yeah, you're right. It was in the second season when I said, "Hey Brent, I think maybe Sinclair might have the soul of Valen, and he might be Valen." And I don't remember exactly when I thought about that, but it was right before my other incredible prediction that's going to come true. I think probably before the end of this season about Anna Sheridan being a Morden as well. Other questions, other ones. Oh yeah, how did I know that? Well, some pretty simple storytelling devices really pointed us towards that throughout this whole thing. And the moment in this episode when Sinclair put the little triluminary on the thing and Marcus was like, oh my God, a Minbari from not Minbar. And all the pieces came into place. I was like, nailed it. Nailed it. I'll be taking no further questions. But seriously, what an awesome episode this was. I mean, this was fun. It took our number one episode out of season 1 was Babylon Squared when we did our definitive ranking. And this showed the other side, and it did it almost perfectly.
Yeah.
It was so good. Like the only thing you could really tell the difference was that like Garibaldi had better hair. From there, but I mean it was so good. But you and I also called another huge thing just a couple weeks ago. We said Londo is going to get possessed by the shadows.
Right?
He's going to be controlled by them, and Jakar is going to be instrumental in having him purge that out. And Brent, we watched that happen in a fake future that might not actually come to be, but we saw it. We saw it here on Babylon 5 television. Oh, this was so good, right? My big take on this episode, I think I've said it 2 or 3 times. The past is all prologue or whatever,
yeah.
But literally, we've got the context of all the historical stuff. Almost all the big questions we have about what led us to this moment have now all been answered.
Yep.
We've been teased with what the future of the show could be. Mm-hmm. And now, starting in this next episode, Babylon 5 actually truly starts. And I am so excited for this. This was so good. What did you think of this one?
I said it last week. I'll repeat it this week. This is great TV.
Yeah.
Every single bit of this is great TV. The storytelling device of going back in time, reinserting yourself into an episode and not changing the episode, telling you like showing you what happened, but then showing you why it happened or how it happened in a way that you didn't catch the first time. But when you go back and rewatch it, now I haven't gone back and rewatched Babylon Squared, but I guarantee you go back and rewatch it, it's going to hold up. It's going to be true. They were faithful to what happened. They didn't mess a whole lot up. The one thing that I missed was at the end of Babylon Squared, there's a spot where very clearly the voice of Delenn, the hand of Delenn, puts her hand on Sinclair's chest or shoulders, which I thought then was rather suggestive, but turns out that's not it. And she says, "It is time," or something of that nature. Mm-hmm. I think she had that same line here, but she didn't seem to be even anywhere close to touching him. Like they were just sort of standing sort of next to each other. So I'm not sure if that's what that was supposed to be. But I mean, literally, if that's the only thing that I have to complain about, it's not a complaint, folks, like at all. Like I am shocked at how they went back and showed you the rest of this. And the fact that they did it mostly through the viewpoint of Zathras, which is what we need, because Zathras is such a key character. So we now have him for 3 episodes, maybe 2 if you count these last 2 as 1. But for as much as people talk about Zathras, and I don't know that we're ever going to see Zathras again. Like this may be the end of his story, just like I think it's the end of Michael O'Hare's story, right? Because he went back with him. Good way to dip him out. But I truly loved this episode. I am ecstatic for the places where my prediction is wrong and this show decided to go where it went, because I got some stuff right, but it wasn't, it's not about that. Like it's about how they actually get there. And what I love about this is, to me, now this is Brent's opinion. All right. I'm not saying everything has to be this way, but in general, good storytelling will set you up for something. It will set your expectations for how something's going to go. And most of the time it's going to meet those expectations. That's the sense of fulfillment that you get. Mm-hmm. I know in this day and age when people are making stuff, they want to subvert expectations. But occasionally, or more often than not, you really have to give people what they're wanting. You have to give them, oh, I know he's going to be saved, so let's see how he gets saved. Right? I know this guy's not going to die, although his life's in peril, so let's see how he gets out of this one. You know what I mean? Like, it's you have to subvert expectations on purpose, but in general, you have to meet those expectations. This episode met the expectations. The expectations of what? We didn't even know what we were asking for, but they met them. The places where we were able to quote unquote predict things and get things right, you mentioned it just a second ago. It's because it's been good storytelling.
Excellent.
They set it up.
Excellent.
They showed you the clues. They put things together. And if you stop and look at it, you stop and think about it, the clues are all there. You're going to catch a few details wrong, and that's okay. But for the most part, you're going to catch those clues. You're going to put it together, and you're going to be like, yes, that's it. That's nothing to do with me. That's just to show how brilliant the story writing is. Mm-hmm. You know, and I know that over the 3 seasons, Jeff, we've kind of had this thing about I'm the king of predictions, or, you know, how close I get sometimes.
Just a thing.
Right.
Yeah.
No, that is a testament not to me and my predictive powers. That's a testament to how well JMS has fully thought this show out, written it, and seeded the answers from the beginning of the show. When they went back, Jeff, and they showed that clip from Soul Hunter, they're using you. Well, they weren't really using you. You were more than a willing participant in the whole thing. Mm-hmm. Like, oh my gosh, this is a whole deal. And I loved this episode. Jeff, I don't have that many notes. I want to apologize to everybody out there for the Brent Watches video this week, because this was me for 42 minutes, Jeff.
I believe it.
That was the whole episode. Like, there was no reactions.
Right. It's going to be this, and then they're going to show some Babylon Squared scene. There's going to be,
yeah.
That's it. Oh. It's just like it all checks out.
Yeah, exactly. Like it was that enthralling, and it was that exhilarating. Oh my gosh, it was so good.
You talked about subverting and meeting expectations, mm-hmm. and how great of a writer JMS is, a visionary. I mean, we'll call it what it is. There was a scene in the Londo future stuff. We can kind of hit into that to kick things off, but that both met our expectations and subverted them at the same time. And I was excited and furious at the same time. And that was when you had Sheridan and Delenn in the cell, and like they're kind of figuring the stuff out. And then they go, the guards come in to grab them, and they look at each other. They have that look on their face, and you know, they're like, oh no, it's going to happen. Like, they're going to kiss. This is the first kiss. And what a kiss. What a kiss.
Yeah.
But it wasn't real. Like, it wasn't like it was their first kiss, but it wasn't. Delenn has his child. She's done a whole lot more than kiss him.
Right.
So it was just like, you met my expectations. A passionate embrace and kiss moments before certain death, but also it's just another kiss at the same time.
It also could be the last kiss.
Yeah. First and last, and another one in a long line, all at the same time. And it's literally, my note was just like, what an incredible job, both subverting expectations and giving us exactly what we wanted, just not quite the way we thought we wanted it.
Well, I mean, talking about that and in this future scene, we've heard since, what was it, Jeff? Midnight on the Firing Line? Was it The Gathering? When Londo said, I've had a vision, and G'Kar and I will die with our hands around each other's throat. This is a day one thing that we've had in our our heads. All right. And I'm not going to sit here and play the game of like, well, is it going to happen that way or isn't it? Let's just take it at face value that's how it goes.
We plop it there. It might not happen. They showed it. Okay, great.
Yeah. Let's take it that's how that goes. In no way, shape, or form did any of us ever think that was going to be, hey, would you please kill me before this thing on my neck wakes up and makes me do some crazy crap? Right? And then while you're in the process of doing it, the thing wakes up and takes over my mind. And that's the thing that's actually trying to kill you instead of me. And then we both succeed. Like, did not see that coming at all.
No.
But what we saw was hands around each other's throat, killing each other.
And what I thought was great about, and filling in blanks, was my first thought was like the physicality of that. If you and I right now reached through the internet and started strangling each other, one of us is going to give before the other one.
Yeah.
Right? Like, how does that work that both die from that? It's not possible. It is, though, if you have some little muppet on your neck that can probably pump juices. Londo probably died 40 seconds before G'Kar did.
Sure.
But that keeper thing kept him squeezing long enough that G'Kar, he became a space zombie.
Yeah.
Just long enough to kill G'Kar.
Right.
And then you called it. Veer walks in, sees him laying there, picks up the medallion or the crown or the whatever, and he's like, well,
so,
there we go.
okay, so listen, Veer had a look on his face when he came in. And I don't know what to make of this look on his face. Like, it was either Veer has now plotted and this is how it's going to come. Like, I almost felt like an evil laugh, like, does he also have a keeper?
That's
an eye?
That's one of my big
as
questions.
a person of like, because when we first heard that Veer is going to be the emperor, you and I both said Londo's going to be first. It's going to be Veer, and Veer is going to be the guy who like sets things straight. Like, he's going to be the moral compass. He's going to change Centauri culture for the better. And
he's Rom as Grand Negus.
Exactly. Right. Does that one count? Because that was the reference we used a bunch of episodes ago. Yeah, probably should. Anyway. That might not be the case. Veer might be a bad guy now.
Which is, again, giving us exactly what we want. Who doesn't want Veer to be emperor? But subverting those expectations and being like, guess what? He's a shadow puppet as well.
Maybe. We don't know.
Yeah.
We don't know. Jeff, I'm telling you, when we first saw Londo in last week's episode and then in the first couple scenes here, he did not have that thing on his neck. Now, I don't know where that thing came from or what the deal was, but that thing, I don't know where that thing, like, why all of a sudden it just appeared on his neck.
So my guess is it's been there for some time. In fact, one of my big questions is, does Morden have one of these? You know, your big question a while ago was, why are they trusting Morden? He's just a human. Well, because he might have one of these little sucker keeper things on him. The shadows, one thing we know about them is they've got this invisibility cloaking stuff down.
Oh, that's a good point.
So maybe, while it's awake and doing its thing, it's all invisible and shadow, but he got it drunk. And so it wasn't controlling him and it was visible. Yeah.
And this thing is clearly attached to his biology. If Londo can drink and get him drunk and put him to sleep, and he can control Londo's body, turn him into a space zombie, as you said. But I mean, Jeff, the biggest question I had coming out of the first episode, and it's still my biggest question coming out of this episode. We've heard of these minions, the dark servants, the allies of the shadows. I'm assuming this keeper is one of that. Keeper is not a shadow.
No, I don't.
That keeper
think
is
so.
something else. And what is this thing that we've never heard of before? And what's going on with
independent?
that?
Like, did it climb up and attach itself? Is there someone else who snagged it and stuck it on him?
Yeah.
Like, there's this whole contingent of other bad guys that somehow are connected to the shadows. Somehow.
We got to figure it out. And I'm sure we will. But I mean, think about that, Jeff. There are people and entire races of beings out there that you and I, at this point in season 3, have no idea about. Or are just now getting our first clue about,
That's where I think, like, I kind of said in my opening thoughts, like, this is literally the show starting again. This is the gathering, right? The pre-movie that's going to lead into everything else, where it introduces us to the new world. And this new world includes more than just the shadows. We've got dark servants, minions, keepers. The Centauri are basically possessed.
Yep.
So we got a whole new world that we're operating in now.
So there was a really rather bleak moment I found in this future scene. Well, there's a few, but there was one that really stood out to me. It was Delenn talking to Sheridan, and she says this line, "The war is never really won. It just keeps going, and only the names change." Right? So, and she's like, we've ensured this great peace for the next 1,000 years at great personal sacrifice. And I'm like, just for 1,000 years? Like, you just basically put this thing to sleep, and like in 1,000 years, some other group's going to have to deal with this now.
And way back in the Shadows of Zahadum, I think it was that episode where they were like, we're putting them down this time.
Yeah.
Like last time we didn't finish the job. This time we're going to finish the job. And that scene with Delenn told me you didn't finish the job.
Right. That's when I'm going to say, well, that's only a possible future.
Right. Yeah. But I think it's interesting that she had stated as a fact, we've built this piece that will last 1,000 years.
Yeah.
How do you know that? Right? Like, what did you do? What was the cost? What was the sacrifice? But also, if the war never stops and just the names change, what is the goal? Right? Like so for me, I'm at a point now where we've asked this a couple times, but now it is the question. The shadows are apparently wiped out or put to sleep or buried or whatever for 1,000 years, but there are these dark servants and minions that are still carrying on the cause. What is the cause?
Just galactic ruling,
chaos, like
yeah. And we like, is this the show It, where we just got to come back every 7 years and deal with it and
do it again?
You know, like, or not? Was it 70? However
70, I think. Well, I don't know. However many it was.
Yeah.
It was a lot of years, but 17. No, I don't know.
Whatever.
We're going to sound like idiots trying to guess this. It's a great book.
Yes.
Decent movies. Better movie back with Tim Curry. But yeah, to me, like, I want to start understanding the motivation of the shadows now. Like, we've always wanted that, but like now I'm getting desperate.
Yeah.
To know what that motivation is.
We definitely, I think, are getting to that spot where we have to know what the history of the shadows are and what that whole deal is to understand what we're doing. I think we just don't have that piece yet.
Yeah.
You know, but I feel like it's coming. Like there's new information being delivered now, Jeff. And
the idea of a pizza gets me excited, but knowing that there's a pizza on my porch waiting for me makes me desperate for it. That's where I'm at with the shadows and their motivation. That pizza's on the porch just waiting for me to go grab it. Please, just let me have it.
There you go.
Let me have it.
There you go. So I called this out in the recap, but I've got to just, this was so goofy to me. Delenn says to Sheridan, just as he's about to blip, "Take these words back with you. Treasure the moments you have. Savor them, for they can never come back again." Very weird time to just be giving sage life advice.
Yeah.
Like my thought in that moment was, okay, is this some coded message she's sending to herself in the past? Or something that, like, these words are going to trigger something else. Like this has to be more than just, come and sit on my lap and let me give you some ancient granny advice for you. You know, I've been around this world, and just treasure those moments that you have and savor them, because they can never come back again. Like, it's got to be more than that, right?
It does. I like that idea that it's a trigger or something, because she knows that Sheridan's going to tell her the story of this.
Right.
So she's planting some stuff maybe for that. Because my thought was, they kept talking about the great personal sacrifices they had to make for this. And maybe along the way where Sheridan lost his innocence in his eyes, he stopped appreciating the moment or whatever. And maybe this is her, like, you know, just remember, just do this. Do it for David.
Jeff, that particular line, it would not shock me if we don't hear bupkis about it until late season 4, maybe even season 5.
When Sheridan is staring down death, like, eye to eye, like, that will be the moment that pops up again.
Okay, one more question for me from the Londo future. And it kind of worked in, I guess, the Londo future, I'm assuming. There's a moment back on Babylon 4 where Delenn, I think she's coming up like through that manhole cover or something, and she blips. She has a vision, and she goes forward in time, and she's just lovingly staring at John sleeping in the bed, and she picks up this really cool snow globe, and all of a sudden there's a woman in the shadows that just very keenly says hello. That was not Delenn's voice, so it wasn't her, but that was somebody, that was some female saying hello, and it made her drop the snow globe. And we got nothing more out of that. Who is that person, Jeff?
I'll go ahead. The reporter in the back with the questions. Yeah, I'll go ahead and take that question there. Yes. So Anna Sheridan was sent to Babylon 5 to intercept right at the moment that Delenn and Sheridan consummated their love for each other. I'm betting
Sheridan's ex rolled up in on him on that moment.
He's in bed, right? He's got his arms behind his head. He's all like, yeah. And
he's about to smoke a cigarette.
Right? And she's like, oh, I'm going to caress this snow globe and feel feelings. And then not only is it his ex, but it's his Mordenized ex who's just dropping in. And she's going to walk in and be like, oh, Ambassador Delenn, what do you want? I have nothing to base that on other than just my desperate hope that's who it is.
You're moving all in on this Anna Sheridan thing, man.
Hey, it paid off on the Valen thing.
It sure did.
So why not?
It sure did.
Playing these long games. That's you get it episode to episode. I'm playing the long stuff here. David is the kid's name.
Yep.
Was that Sheridan's dad's name?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Because at first I'm
almost positive. I'm like 98% positive that was his name. Yeah.
So my first thought was, oh, they named him after Sinclair, because they made a point of saying Jeffrey David Sinclair on the envelope.
Yeah.
But as soon as I thought that, I was like, wait, I think that was his dad's
Pretty
name.
sure.
And that would be cool. It'd be cool. It also probably means that his dad dies. So that's not great.
I mean, we kind of already saw his dad die with Kosh, although we know it was Kosh, not his dad, but still. Yeah. I mean, if he died, Sheridan's
it was like
not a young buck.
Stuff.
Like, his dad's going to die. Like, I hate to sound callous about that. Like, I mean, horrible if he like gets killed by Night Watch or something like that. Like, absolutely horrible. But, yeah.
So I had a lot of fun with the Babylon 4 and then Babylon Squared stuff.
Sure.
Starting with Ivanova and Marcus, who oddly there was no romantic tension between.
They've just completely dropped that storyline, haven't they?
I think so.
Yeah. That's too bad, because I really liked that. I liked that come hither, will they, won't they deal. That's too bad. I hadn't thought about that in a long time, but you're right. They've just pretty much dropped that whole deal.
They did the whole, I don't believe in luck. I believe in logic. And then he, proved his point.
Yeah, yeah.
But then he popped the panel behind him. Oh, look, there's this. And I feel like they played it again later when he's like, what? He's just going to fill up that blue suit over there? Like, that'd be wild. And then exactly that happens. And it's like, oh, Marcus, maybe you should believe in luck. Just a little bit.
He needs to watch his back for Bester coming after him, man.
Seriously.
Psychor's on its way. I'll say something that I really enjoyed about the Babylon 4, Babylon Squared thing that I think kind of adjusted a wrong impression I had from Babylon Squared. So back in that episode, Babylon 4 reappears after several years of being gone. I don't remember how many years it had been gone. 4 years. Yeah, 4 years. Which, by the way, how fast can they build one of those stations? Oh my gosh.
Well, got a crew like Jinxo on there doing the stuff. That's quick.
Did you ever stop that? Where did Jinxo go on vacation right before this happened? Anyway,
probably stuck on Mars, poor guy.
Right. But it had been like for 4 years of blipping around, and when we saw the crew come back in Babylon Squared, I had the impression that they felt the 4 years. Like, they didn't know where they were, when they were, but they had like they had gone through some crap in their time jumping around the timeline. But what this episode showed us was that wasn't the case. Like they blipped and then it's like, oh, we're here. Oh crap. We got to get everybody off the station real quick before we leave. And all that stuff had happened just really after one little time jump that they just lost 2 years out of their life or 4 years out of their life.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, this is Infinity War when everybody gets snapped back. Like, oh, hey, where'd you come from? We thought you were gone. Like, they're just back. So
I think in Babylon Square, I had that same impression that like they were tired.
Yeah.
They'd been fighting. They'd been having all this stuff go on. And maybe we just didn't get time. Like, I don't think 4 years. They didn't feel 4 years, but maybe they felt weeks, you know, and we just didn't get time markers or something.
Right.
Or it was all just very boom, 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 boom. I just thought of this. We had a new character from Babylon Squared, and that was the first officer.
Yeah.
Under the I liked him.
Yeah, he was cool.
Lot.
Yeah.
Super effective.
Yeah. Worked for me. I really thought that the captain from Babylon 4 was kind of a weak captain, but he appeared fairly strong in this episode to me when he's like, no, get out there and get that just in case of XYZ. Stop it. I know what I'm doing. Like, I was like, okay, I see why you're in command now.
Yeah. But I think in Babylon Squared, again, we thought that he was beaten up and exhausted and tired, and that's why he seemed ineffective or whatever. It showed a different
side of it. Yeah. And I was great with it. Like, I'm glad to have that interpretation be rewritten in an episode like this, the way they did this whole deal.
One of my hangups on the translation, you know, of the other side of stuff was in Babylon Squared. We had the blue suit that we assumed was old Sinclair. Current Sinclair went over and grabbed the hand and it blew him way back. And we're like, yeah, because space and matter and time can't occupy the same space. That's a proven sci-fi fact. But it was Delenn,
right,
in that blue suit. So now I'm like, why did that blow him back? It doesn't matter. I'm just a question in the whole thing. But it was heartbreaking to me, though, when they were done and they were going to get ready to go back, but the current old season 1 Babylon 5 crew was flying away, and old Sinclair, Ranger 1, and Tilza was out there, and he's like, Garibaldi, watch your back.
Yeah.
Watch your back. Communication cannot be completed. It's like, in his face when he got that air, like that was a heart breaking.
Because that's he gets shot in the back like 2 episodes later or something like that. Right. Yeah.
And then when he came back in, because we were wondering this in Babylon Squared, he's like, I told them, I tried to warn them, but it's all happening the way it did last time. And we're like, what did he warn him? What did he do? He tried to stop Garibaldi from getting shot, because had he not gotten shot, could have changed everything. Santiago could still be in power. You know, I mean, literally Garibaldi getting shot in the back was the catalyst for everything that we're experiencing now.
Interesting how that becomes the snowball.
Yeah.
You know, gosh, man, Sheridan failed everyone.
Right.
There were a couple of really cool lines, mostly spoken by Zathras in this line. They're like, oh, we're going to run out of time. And he goes, cannot run out of time. Time is infinite. You are finite. Zathras is finite. Time is infinite. I was like, that's a cool way to look at it.
Yeah.
And then just a few minutes later, Zathras goes, oh, not enough time. Not enough time. I was like, wait, you just said that it's infinite. Got all the time you need, man. He also said this. He goes, and this might have been a quote from Babylon Squared, but it sticks out now. It's a great war, but a great hope for peace. And I was like, yeah.
Yes, it is. Yeah, he was good. I loved Zathras in the last episode. I think I alluded to him being my new favorite character. But in this one, I loved it because it added so many dimensions to him. Like, he's not just some dumb beast of burden. This guy's well read.
Yeah. He knows what he's doing. Yeah. The dude can fix stuff. Like, he's an engineer. He's keeping the great machine going. He's 110 years old. He knows stuff about the machine Drawl doesn't even know yet. Like, and he's the one who's explaining this rule of 3. Jeff, we have a rule of 3.
Oh, we do. We're Minbari.
We're Minbari souls. Woohoo!
Before we go down that path, though,
okay.
How old is the Great Machine? Do we?
They said 500 years, but for some reason, the Great Machine has records from 1,000 years ago. I'm sorry.
Okay.
They keep saying at least 500 years.
Okay.
I feel like that Great Machine has to be from predating all of that.
What if Zathras built it? Like what? Because he goes back in time.
Yeah.
And Sinclair Valen's up and goes and builds Minbari society.
Yeah.
Did Zathras go build the Great Machine or start building it knowing that this was coming?
I mean, Jeff, there's so much of this cyclical going back to the beginning and setting themselves up, because Sheridan takes the Triluminary device from Delenn and goes back and turns himself into Valen, which then many thousands of, or 1,000 years later, Delenn gets that same device out of the storage and takes it to turn herself into this Delenn and balance the deal. And that's going to then go back. Like it goes in this cyclical, you know, I've always been in this thing. I mean, this is Data's head in Time's Arrow, exactly, winding up in the cave all the time. Right. So this, yeah. I mean, you know, this is Harry freeing himself and saving himself from the Dementors. Like it's just the cyclical nature of how this whole piece goes.
It keeps going. But yeah, so Zathras lays down the Minbari rule of 3.
But the point of that, though, because we're going to talk about that rule of 3. Think how wise Zathras has to be to understand that concept.
That's
like he gets it.
Yeah.
And he's schooling these guys.
Exactly. He gets it and he can explain it. To me, that is the real like dividing factor between a smart person and a truly intelligent person. Smart person knows all this stuff. Truly intelligent person can communicate it in a way that other people can understand. And wow, did Zathras do that?
And he says, the 3 is a big number. Sinclair is the one, Delenn is the one, and Sheridan is the one. Together, they are Brett the Hitman Hart.
I love that you brought that because my note is right here. Literally yesterday on Peacock, I watched an old WrestleMania flashback of Brett the Hitman Hart at WrestleMania 10. He was my favorite wrestler growing up. And so that was, so great. The best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be. And I'll die on that hill. He was that. But I think beyond that, back in Comes the Inquisitor, we kind of back and forth about like Jack the Ripper dude being like, you're both the one, chosen one, I think was the term he used.
He did. You're right.
And we're like, well, how can I both be the chosen? Well, this is how. The one that was, the one who is, and the one who will be. Oh my gosh. And it makes so much sense to me too, right? Because Sinclair goes back in time to be who was, which means I think like the Rangers are now going to be a Delenn thing, which makes her the one of now. But the big question is, what does that mean for Sheridan? What does that mean for Delenn in the future that leads Sheridan to being the one for what will be?
You know what bothers me about this though? And this is a stupid thing to bother me, but it bothers me. I like symmetry. So here you have the one who was 1,000 years ago. But now you got the one who is and the one who will be hanging out together. Like, I feel like there should be a lot more separation in that time.
What if Sheridan is the one who will be through their son, David? Because he doesn't exist yet? I don't know. I'm trying to spread out the isosceles triangle for you.
No, I'm not for that. I'm going to say no. I don't know. It could go that way, but no.
Just shooting in the dark, trying to find something.
Yeah.
But what it hit me with though is the concept, and JMS has not shied away from using Catholicism for a lot of his storytelling. And this is the Holy Trinity.
Yeah, absolutely.
Three unique beings that are one nature, that are spread across time and space, that exist everywhere at all times.
Right.
And it's kind of the same thing.
Yeah. Three distinct people existing in perfect unity as one. Like that's, and it's a concept that's really hard to understand. So
yeah, we call it a mystery.
Yeah. I'm going to take that same thing and apply it here and just go, I don't understand, but okay, cool. I'm with you.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
It's a mystery.
Did you notice this? That old Jeff and Susan are on a first name basis.
Yeah, I did notice that.
Like Sheridan and Ivanova are not on a first name basis.
Nope.
But Jeff and Susan are, right? Still.
I loved their relationship.
Yeah.
Back in the first season. I think now that there's no military, there's no chain of command, no hierarchy or anything, it's all gone. We can just be pals.
Mm-hmm.
So Sinclair goes back in time, hooks up the machine. He chrysalises himself.
Well, before he does that, he has a word with Marcus.
Oh, yeah.
And we never got anything beyond that. Like, he wanted to have a word with Marcus, but then he winds up having a word with Zathras, Delenn, and Sheridan. Now, we get a shot of Marcus on the White Star, like, just looking very, knowing, which I assume they had that conversation. Whatever he told Marcus, I don't know. We'll come around to it maybe in the next couple of episodes or at some point.
I have a theory. We'll get to it in our last game of this episode.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. But you're right. Sheridan or Sinclair goes back.
Plugs the machine in, chrysalises himself.
Yeah.
Comes out as a Minbari.
Did you see that coming? Did you see him actually turning into a Minbari?
I did not.
Me either.
I did not. I felt like it was the soul.
Yeah.
Right. It was going to be the soul. But as soon as they dropped the line, right, he shows a human plopping in with this. They'd eat him a lot. And it's like, of course they would. He has. And it was just, Marcus was the audience in that moment, right? Because like the second he says, a Minbari, that's not the second he says that, you're like, oh my God, he's going to do this thing. And I thought it was cool too, from the context of Michael O'Hare, as a send off for Michael O'Hare. How cool is it? It's like, hey, you're going to do a scene in full makeup. Like,
that's how you go out, is in full makeup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally. And we're going to do it with these random Vorlons that we know nothing about. That just
with full
up.
encounter suits.
Yeah.
Full encounter suits that have not changed in 1,000 years.
Exactly. It's like, my question there is Kosh one of those Vorlons? Like, do they go back that far?
Was one of those Vorlons the one that we saw at the beginning of the last episode, the ambassador to Minbar?
Yeah, yeah. I have no reason to think why not. So let's say that one is Kosh and the other is Kosh 3.
There you go. And Kosh 2
there
is
you go.
Still chilling on Vorlon somewhere.
Do you think, I think my question on the Valen, the becoming Valen thing, was he looked full on Minbari. But Delenn is a hybrid.
Yeah.
Do you think we're ever going to get any insight in, or is that just going to be a thing? It is kind of a thing.
There's probably somebody out there typing a comment about how he wasn't actually fully Minbari, and there was something that looked more human than the rest of the Minbari actually get. Maybe not. I'm not entirely sure. That could just be a plot hole. It could just be, hey, they needed a cool makeup thing for Mira Furlan to look not human.
Yeah.
So they left the head ridge,
Because it didn't even occur to me when I watched the episode, but after I watched it the second time and kind of time went on over the week, it just started like hitting me. I'm just like, wait a minute. Like, and it took her a while to come out of that chrysalis. So I'm going to assume like the trip took a while. He had to call the Vorlons and do a bunch of stuff.
Had to get the rock flaky stuff off his skin.
Yeah. Like there's a whole metamorphosis that we missed. It was a couple weeks, wasn't it, for her?
Yeah, it was like 8 weeks, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I'm okay like skipping going through all that, because what mattered was the reveal of him coming out at the end.
And literally the guy who creates Minbari society.
Yeah, exactly. And now the Minbari are Oh, Jeff. The Minbari are straying from Minbari society as Valen set up. Delenn is now the one. Where Valen was the one before, she's now the one to come in and put the smackdown on everybody and reset the Great Council and reset all this sort of stuff.
Think about the spectrum. The one who appears to be a full Minbari.
Mm-hmm.
The one who is a Minbari human hybrid. The one who will be is a human. Or a Vorlon, depending on which one of our many theories.
Or Jaquan.
Yeah.
He's an Arn.
Yeah. Could be all sorts of things. But like that change, that shift from Minbari to hybrid to full human is almost like, we've talked about that, how the Minbari were probably the younger go-get-em race in this 1,000 years ago Shadow War. The humans are that now in this Shadow War, or appear to be. And so, like, is that the progression that happens?
So they mentioned something in this episode where, you know, they talk about how the Minbari are losing their souls and they're investing themselves into humanity. In this episode, they said that it started about 1,000 years ago. I felt like that was a relatively recent development when we first heard about it.
I thought so too.
You know, so for 1,000 years, they've been losing their souls, which is an interesting thing. Does the fact that Delenn having gone through her chrysalis, does it stop that process? Are they continuing to unify? Like, are humans and Minbar actually the same folks? Like, did the humans? Well, no, because the humans would have been around 1,000 years ago and had a developing culture. So
yeah, they just wouldn't have been. Yeah, because 1,000 years ago it was the 1200s.
Yeah, right.
So they just weren't spacefaring. Yeah. What if we don't know a lot about the Soul Hunters? And it was interesting that they pulled that out in this one. What if Valen created the Soul Hunters as a way to start this happening? Like how do you start moving souls around? Well, you find this race that has a certain technology or power or whatever. What if he's the one who like fired up the Soul Hunters?
I won't like it. But if it is, then he is. But I won't like it. You know, because I want the Soul Hunters just to be Soul Hunters. Like, let them just be their own deal. Still glad. We saw the clip of him now, and that's more Soul Hunter than I ever wanted in the rest of this show.
Yeah, totally. Like, we've talked about going back and watching that or Infection before again, and him popping up in this episode. I'm like, nope. I'm good.
Yeah,
good.
I'm. When we do Babylon 5 for the second time, that's an episode that I'm gonna be like, hey, can we just skip this one? I remember. I don't need anything else.
I am kind of curious though, as to, this is my final thought on the whole episode, and it's just a a pondering. When did Delenn know?
Yes.
Did she know? Like, was it written in the letter? Did she know back in Battle of the Line? When did she? I'm curious about that.
And how much did she know beforehand? Like, what is this what is the full prophecy that we don't know about?
That they keep kind of adding on to as the plot demands it.
Right. Like, hey, so there's Valen. And you remember when Delenn says this to somebody? In Valen's name and in mine. Putting her right there equal with Valen. Right? Like,
which makes sense if you know Valen is Sinclair.
And if you know that they're both the one, you know. But you're right. Like, when did she know that this was going to happen? Who has she told? Who else knows this prophecy and is either saying, yes, this is it, or no, it's not? You know, because people can argue about unfulfilled prophecy, right? Like, in what it means. So who all actually knows about it? It's all good questions that we haven't answered yet.
Yeah. This is the next 2.5 seasons.
2 seasons and 4 episodes.
Yeah, it's true. I keep putting this way back.
It's not even
way back there. Yeah, we're almost
1/5 of a season. So Jeff, I guess with that, we have reached the part of the show where it is time to boil this down and see if the show has any of what we call that Star Trekkie quality to it. Is there a deep moral message? Is there hope for the future? Are we holding up a mirror to society? I'm going to rate this episode on a scale of 0 to 5 deltas as far as how Star Trek this episode is. But Jeff, you get the awesome side of rating this episode on a scale of 0 to 5 Starfuries. As far how much did we enjoy this episode? How Babylon 5 is this episode? I'm going to go first with deltas because it's going to be a rather short one. There wasn't much. This was a great episode. We have great episodes of Star Trek that don't have much on the Star Trek message, and that's okay. This one was a great one. You could pull the treasure the moments and you have and savor them and never come back again. You have the piece of, yes, there is a great war, but there's also great hope for peace because of this. That's certainly in there. The one that I loved the most, though, was at the very end when they're back on the White Star and the rest of the crew realized that Sinclair is not there. And the rest of them are like, wait, we're really going to let him stay. And Sheridan says, it's what he wants. Let's respect it. To give somebody that honor of like, look, we may not agree with it. We may not agree with what this person wants to do with their life or how they want to live their life or how they want to move forward with their life. But let's respect it. And honestly, it doesn't matter to us because it's not us. Like, just respect what they want to do. It's okay. Not a big deal. Let's go. Let's keep moving on with our lives. That's an awesome message that was in no way, shape, or form central to what this show was supposed to be about. So on that basis, I'm only giving this, and this might be high, 1.5 deltas.
I think it's a little high.
Yeah.
But also, it's great. It's super great. In the spirit, though, of mirroring the ratings from last week, there's if I rated this anything less than 5 Starfuries, you need to kick me in the head and never let me do a Babylon 5 podcast. 5 Starfuries through literally the whole hour or so we've been talking has been how amazing and great and well. I mean, to take the puzzle pieces of Babylon Squared and 2 years later do a whole other thing with new characters and new stories and just slide it together seamlessly. Holy crud. This is a masterpiece of an episode.
You know what?
5 stars.
You know what it makes me wonder is if Sheridan wasn't always a planned character to come into the show at some point, maybe we were going to meet him in season 3. But with the departure of Sinclair, that just got accelerated into season 2. Maybe we're going to meet him later in season 2. I don't know. I think was he always a part of the plan? And
I could see it, especially when the Centauri Narn war started. I could see them pulling hey, things are really ramping up over here. We need an ambassador over here on Minbar, and we need a military commander in on Babylon 5.
Or Sheridan was going to be the ambassador to Minbar while Sinclair stayed as the captain of Babylon 5. And he literally just flip-flopped those two roles, which, to go back to that question of how much of Sheridan's role was actually meant to be Sinclair's, it kind of washes that out, you know, and it is what it is because they are the three, and Sheridan and Sinclair are inextricably linked for the rest of this show, even if we never see Michael O'Hare's face again.
Exactly. Yeah, totally. I would love to have that insight from JMS. Like, what when you had your outline and you were shopping this around, what did this episode look like when Sinclair was going to be around the whole time?
To you folks out there, please no spoilers. But if it's not a spoiler to tell us, we'd love to know. But no spoilers going forward. Well, Jeff, just like last season, and we've been doing this for a while now, we are creating the absolute 100% completely accurate and definitive. No other podcast will touch this one because this is the correct one. Ranking of season 3 of Babylon 5. My question to you, good sir, is where do we place War Without End Part 2? Our current ranking is War Without End Part 1, Severed Dreams, Point of No Return, Ship of Tears, and Messages from Earth. And I want to throw something out there. I know we watched these as 2 separate episodes, but in the ranking, is there room for a 1A, 1B, 2-parter to share a slot?
I feel like that's a fantastic conversation for our season 3 wrap up, which will be happening here in just a couple weeks.
Right.
And hey, while we're talking about the wrap up, we're doing a cool giveaway in that thing. Get your ratings, your reviews in. You're going to get, we got 2 Starfuries. You got 2 chances to win. Rating, review, send us a screenshot. You'll be in the drawing. We'll pull it up. That's going to happen in our season 3 wrap up, where among many other things, we're going to talk about if we'll have a 1A and 1B between World Without End Part 1 and 2, because Brent, this is our new number 1 in the ranking. In fact, I'm going to go one step further, and I'm going to say that for me right now, this is my number 1 episode of Babylon 5 so far.
Oh, I haven't thought about it to that extent, but I could share that same feeling. Entirely possible.
So very good. This was, we loved Babylon Squared. This just made that so much better, and it detracted nothing from the original. It was just, I said it before, I'll say it again, an absolute masterpiece that I sadly have to draw to a close, because that's it for War Without End Part 2. And next week we're going to watch Gray 17 is Missing for the first time. We don't read up on these. We don't look at synopses. We don't look at screenshots, thumbnails, anything about the episodes that are coming up. We like to play this game where we guess what the episode is going to be based on the title of it alone. The next one, Brent, is Gray 17 is Missing. What do you think it's going to be about?
I've got it as one of 2 things. Okay. To say Gray 17, that calls to mind 2 very separate things. One is, do we know, Jeff, is there a gray section of the station? Like there's a brown and a green and a blue. Is there a gray section?
It's like engineering.
Okay.
It's all the mechanics.
So Gray 17
station
could be a portion of the station that is missing. Maybe it got blipped in, like it's something got blipped from this last episode or something of that nature. Like this whole section is just like gone, or there's a tachyon field over it or something like that. Like it's just, Hollywood Tower of Terror gone, right? Or what does Delenn always say? What does the Gray Council always say?
Ooh.
We are the gray. We stand between the candle and the darkness, or something like that, right? Like we exist.
The candle and the star.
Yeah, like we are the gray. Gray 17 could be a code name for someone on the Gray Council, or like some minion of the Gray, like it's the Gray Council's spy. It's their something, and it's, you know, you got 007, this is Gray 17, and that guy is missing, or girl. Like they're missing, and we've got to go find them. Wow. It's one of the, like, those are the only 2 places my mind goes. How about you?
So Gray Sector, we've seen a handful of times. The one that pops to mind was back when Sheridan learned about Babylon 4, and he was down walking through Gray Sector, and he saw that Marcab down on the ground, and then that energy creature popped into his head. And so it's like, this is a pretty abandoned part of the station. So I think that between the strife going on Minbar with the Gray Council being a mess, Sinclair no longer on the planet to kind of keep things together for the Rangers, they need a new Rangers headquarters, basically. And so they're going to stage, like they're going to have Garibaldi stage an accident or something of some kind that makes it look like Section Gray 17 is blowed up. It's no good. It's garbage. Just don't go there. We're closing it off. It's a dangerous place, but they're going to convert it into a training facility that Sinclair, before he took off, had a little confab with Marcus and basically handed off like, I'm in Tilza. I think that's running the Rangers. I need you to be my boots on the ground. I need you running the training that happens. And so, but where it's going to go a step even further and make it cool is Marcus is going to be like, I can't do this by myself. I'm a self-doubting guy. So I'm going to do that all day long. And I'm going to enlist my good friend Lanier. And Marcus and Lanier are going to be in Gray 17 training up new Rangers. Kind of the payoff from all the Avalon stuff with Marcus and Lanier.
You had to bring up that episode.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Oh my gosh. I don't. What's worse, Avalon or Soul Hunter?
Wow. I got to think about that one.
It should be Soul Hunter, just to be clear.
Well, I'll tell you why it's Soul Hunter, because Soul Hunter doesn't have Jakar leaping over the railing to just start throwing down with a bunch of loot.
Listen, I will. We may have been a little overly harsh on Avalon.
Maybe
we may have. We'll discuss this in the wrap up more. We might have been a little overly harsh. We weren't that overly harsh though. It was just. But sword fighting is always cool.
Sorry.
It was dumb. It was just dumb. Yeah. Sword fighting is always cool though, and that more than makes up for anything in Soul Hunter.
And dumb can be fun.
Sure.
So like there's that.
But that one wasn't
Soul
fun.
Soul Hunter was beyond it. Was
but
just,
Avalon wasn't fun either.
If it had fun parts.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway.
Well, listen, we're going to find out right here next week what Grade 17 is Missing is all about. Thank you so much for joining us on our little soiree, our journey through the war without end. If you haven't already, please subscribe or follow us wherever you're listening or watching and leave us a review. Take a screenshot of it, send it to us, either email babylon5first@gmail.com. It's the number 5 and the word first, or at babylon1st on Twitter. We'll get you put into the drawing in our season 3 wrap up. Not only do you have a chance to win some Starfuries, but I will, at some point, read your review here on the podcast. So, until next time, and until Brent, you're supposed to cut me off.
Not this time, Jeff. We have much work ahead of us.
Well then, peace, victory, and long life.
This is my first time.
Club 65, what's up? Folks out there, this is the after show. You have now entered
fun happens.
Club 65. If you know about Club 65, if you know about it, then you know. And if you don't, then you just don't. Drop a 65 down in the comments, folks. Let us know that you are here. And remember, we don't talk about Club 65.
But you know what we do?
What do we do? You said do.
Who do? You do? What? Remind me of Club 65.
Yes.
Which, click this link right down here. You get.
Is it a link that they can click, Jeff, or do they just have to type it in?
They got to type it
I didn't think it was clickable.
I was gonna at one point I was like, oh, I could drop it in, but no, we don't talk about Club 65. Mm-mm. You have to be in Club 65 to even hear about Club 65.
That's right.
So
that's right.
There's not even metadata like within YouTube for it, or I guess there is in the subtitles. Either way, I absolutely love seeing the people sharing their gear.
Yeah,
right? We've had it in our Discord for Patreon. We've seen it on Twitter and stuff. It is super cool.
Are we going to come up with some new gear for season 4?
We need to.
We should. Like, to be honest, the one we threw together, we wanted it simple on purpose, but we could do some stuff with it. Yeah. It might be time to open up that t-shirt shop that we're always talking about. This would not be Club 65 related. That'd be open to anyone, but.
Yeah. And frankly, like we might do that. And then, oh God, I just had this, like, what is this? I have to look over here at my notes. So this is, it's our 63rd episode.
Is it really?
And I'm just thinking, It is, which is amazing. But I'm just like, in my head, I'm just like, we do need to open that store, because then I have to like write some copy and paste it, not only into every YouTube video, But then all the audio podcasts, that's 126. Oh, woe is me. Whew. A rough life of a podcaster.
You know, I hear we can like hire virtual assistants for like $15.
We have some incredible people that we work with already.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That might be good. Anyway,
smart idea.
So, Jeff.
Brent.
Just coming off of this particular episode, did you know a while ago, I don't know how long ago, there was apparently some conspiracy theory. Did you mute yourself?
No.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
I have bated breath.
Oh, okay. There was some conspiracy theory going around about you and I.
I think I know what you're talking about.
And
is this the whole like
yes, it is.
tanking the reboot thing?
Some people put together a conspiracy theory that you and I were paid to come in and bag on Babylon 5 to ruin and shoot down the proposed reboot.
Right. I tell you what, if we were hired to do that, my number one episode of all time would be Soul Hunter, not War Without End Part 2. Like this. We've had there's been some pretty mind-blowing stuff. Like there is in Club 65, like
I'm just saying I'm sorry, Jeff, just coming off of these last two episodes, we're trying to tank the show. Yeah. That's really why we're here.
There have been times we have been less than gracious about some of our viewers. I'll own that. But there's been a pretty small contingent that over the last about 6 months, 7-8 months or so, since the beginning of the year, have made it their personal mission to like attack us and bring us down. And it's made us do ugly things.
It's so crazy to me.
Like blocking and muting. But yeah, it's just like, what? What? Like we had one dude lose his mind because we told him, we reminded, that's a spoiler. We've asked many times to not spoil, and he freaked out. He was personally attacking you on stuff. And it was just like, what? Don't you know what the show, you watch the show. And
that person was like a day one person too. Yeah. It's crazy. And here's the thing, like in real life, do you know what it takes for me to block somebody? I don't block people. At most, I usually mute them. I don't tend to, I'm not that guy. Like, I don't have a thin skin at all. But, like, I kept getting tagged and stuff. And guess what? Tags come through mutes. Mm-hmm. So, in order to protect the show, I blocked them. And I can only imagine what I don't, contrary to popular belief, I don't have a bunch of burner accounts that I just go and look up other stuff once something happens. Like, right. I don't do that. So,
unlike some of the people that we're actually talking about.
Probably. Especially coming off. I mean, Jeff, if we were paid to tank the show, we would have just gotten fired for our last two episodes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Which, by the way, if anybody has part-time work available, we are...
we will cash a check.
Right. Yeah.
Everyone has a price.
$1 million man, baby.
Yeah, there you go, baby. Oh,
I'll tell you what. So on the blocking thing, so on Twitter, I'm the same. I tend to mute.
Yeah.
It's such a great feature.
Yeah.
It's awesome. Instagram, you get part of one strike, and I'm blocking you. Like if you say something dumb, if you bring up cryptocurrency, right? Blocked. Yeah. If you try to sell me podcast marketing services, because I'm not joking, 20 a day. I'll get 20 a day on my Instagram for that. Block.
Yeah. If I sniff you out as a bot, you're getting blocked.
Yeah.
Like I will use that, but it's not blocking a person.
Yeah.
Anyway, why are we talking about this? Oh, yeah. Jeff,
because we're tearing it down.
This is Club 65. Yeah. This is the post show. We loved this episode. Like I want to go watch this episode again.
My daughter was making fun of me while I was watching it because I was so into this thing.
Yeah, she was videoing you and sending me the video.
Twice she called me a nerd. And it's just like, yeah, she's not wrong.
Jeff, I had something happen today that made me think of you.
Oh, yeah?
So I have a playlist that my wife and I created that we call Covered Up. It's our Covered Up playlist. And the gist of that playlist is it is full of songs that are covers where the person or the band who covered the song did it better than the original.
Okay, yeah. We've talked about this before here on the
And so one of the songs that just recently made its way into that playlist is the song Summertime Blues by Alan Jackson.
Oh, uh-huh.
Now, in researching the song Summertime Blues as we were looking, we came across a version that Rush did.
Yeah.
And so my son and I were listening to that. Jeff, Jude goes, what's Rush? I was like, it's a band. You probably ought to you probably ought to know it. And
hold on, I'm buying plane tickets right now. I got to
Jeff,
teach your kids.
This song got 4 bars into the guitar riff, the opening riff, and Jude went, I love this band.
It's such a great take. That whole record, Feedback, they did it. So Rush has a long, I mean, their first record came out in 74, but they actually started as a band when they were in high school in 68, middle school. Really,
overnight success that took 10 years.
Exactly. Yeah. Getty and Alex, the guitar and bass player, started it. Neil didn't join until 74 and Fly By Night. Long story. But Neil he's the drummer and the lyricist, had just unbelievable back-to-back tragedies. His daughter left home to drive to college, got into a car accident, and was killed. A couple months after that, or shortly after that, his wife got diagnosed with cancer, and a couple months after that, she died. He lost everything in his world in the space of a couple of months, and so he disappeared. He got on his motorcycle, and he drove for thousands and thousands of miles trying to find himself, going on his own little walkabout. Well, the band ended up getting back together. They did a really emotional record called Vapor Trails. And then they were kind of like, well, what do we do now? Like we've won the music game, like we're, legends, and what do we do? And so they did a album of covers. And it has it's got Summertime Blues. It's got Crossroads. It has my favorite version ever of The Who's The Seeker. Oh my God, it's so good. But these are the songs they jammed on when they were in middle school and high school doing stuff. Just now they're basically 3 of the greatest musicians who at that time were alive and really brought it. And that Summertime Blues, when in the song itself, it's all, you better get a job if you want to, or whatever. It's got those little narrative things that Jackson does. Those are drum breaks that happen, or little guitar solos. And it's like, oh my God, incredible. So good. If you want to hear it really well, listen to the live version on their R30 Rush 30 record. That's that live version is
there you
perfect.
Go. I never knew that they did Summertime Blues ever.
Yeah, it's super cool. Really unique take on it.
I like it. All right, Jeff. Well, that is, I think, going to wrap up our time here on Club 65 for this week. Please, guys, let us know about all the conspiracy theories that you guys like to create about Jeff and Brent.
If there's any videos about it that people made and put up there, link them before they delete the video.
Oh, please. I would love to. It's so funny, Jeff. Listen, we're this is the stuff that you realize, actual, real celebrities, must see, online somewhere and be like, what?
Hold on. Alex Kurtzman is texting me with instructions for what to say.
Oh yeah.
On the next episode.
to tank it so that, Yeah, because we can't, because it's got to be Star Trek and Star Trek only, right?
Exactly. That's the only one that'd be after it.
Right. All right.
Well, Club 65, thank you. You rock.
Deuces.